What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sehatha, the all-purpose oracle, medium at large, and prognosticator extraordinaire, otherwise known as the blind seer. I'm trying to keep my voice down because it's super late. I didn't expect to be up half the night doing these, but it took me all week to get my videos out last week, so I am determined to get them out tonight. And my evening involved a lot more sweeping up vomit with a broom and dustpan because I don't have anything else. So I'm a little late in getting this done. I'm so behind on everything, guys. But we're going to jump right in. I'm not even going to ramble anymore. I talked so much in the last video and the one before that. I'm in a weird mood tonight, guys. I don't know what's... There's some really weird activity in my sign right now. A lot of planets in a really specific conjunction that doesn't happen very often. So that's probably something. And I've just had so much going on, and I think it's all... I've either processed it all or it's all just now hitting, but one way or another, today's a really unusual day, and you're getting a weird side of me, but the readings have been so good, I think. You guys can tell me if they're good. If they hit for you, then I'll try to keep doing this level of engagement. Like I said in my last video, I don't even know necessarily where this stuff comes from. On a conscious level, I know what the cards mean and stuff like that. That's where I go from. But once I start talking about it, it's like something just takes over. And I don't, even when I do the weekly readings and I just write it out, it's like as soon as I start, the first sentence comes out of my brain, and then everything else that comes after just flows from it. And then I finish it off with some stuff from my notes where I've scoured the internet for all the best information about certain topics so that I can do the best job I can for you guys. I work with spirits like any good magician or occultist, and I think it's probably... The one that I work with primarily is called Abzumudu. Is the only spirit I work with that isn't an actual god. It's the angel of the dark waters. He claims to be one of the oldest beings in existence and knows the original source of all things. So he kind of gives me the info on like the root cause of stuff, and that's how I do what I do. Speaking of what I do, we're going to do earth signs this time, and I'm going to stop rambling about my weird, possibly schizophrenic delusions. I'm not sure if that's an actual entity or if it's something I created and just gave enough energy to that it started interacting, or if, like I said, I might be schizophrenic, guys. I may not be a psychic. I could just be crazy. Welcome to the world of being an occultist. What we want here is whatever reading will be the most beneficial for my audience and the earth signs in it, for the earth signs in the lives of everyone watching, for my page, my channel, my business, my family, everyone involved, and for the general well-being of everyone. To the right. I'm trying to remember to get the pendulum on camera. I want to eventually get a better setup where you guys can actually see me shuffling the cards and see me using the tools and stuff like that. I'm using a little smartphone, so I don't have a lot of room to work with. I need a cigarette, guys. Oh, it has been such a day. So we'll do Taurus first. Get right into this. Ten of Cups inverted for Taurus. So this card's come up a lot in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of people are feeling kind of depressed and hopeless and unsure of how long the ambiguity of the whole situation that we're all dealing with is really weighing on people, and it's unusual for us to go through. This is a global experience. This isn't like a cultural or communal experience. This is a global thing that we're experiencing as a race, as a species. So a lot of people don't know how to compartmentalize that and how to go about their daily lives as if there is a future that they're sure of, because a lot of people aren't. Nobody knows what to expect right now. We haven't dealt with something like this in 100 years. Like, we don't we've never seen this before. So this hopelessness and depression that you're feeling, Taurus, it is so widespread, and it's not just you. So don't let it drown you. And it's okay to feel upset. It's okay to. It's better to feel these feelings than to suppress them. I don't say that enough whenever I talk about some of the negative feelings that we experience. You won't hear that from a lot of other spiritual people, but it's better to feel the depression and the hopelessness so that you can get through it. Because if you bury it, it's just going to come up until you do feel it and face it. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, Taurus. This is just a temporary phase. I talked about in the fire signs video the cycle of the royal cards and how they represent. I like to compare it to the phases of the moon, because that's something we all understand, and it's a really common framework to pin this to. The Knight represents the waxing moon phase, so it's the rising of the energy before it peaks and then collapses back down. It's all waveform mechanics. Everything that I do, it's just waveform. It's sine and cosine. It's just expressed in a way that makes sense to normal people that don't obsess over numbers the way I do. So you're feeling hopeless right now, but you're actually on your way up, and you don't. That's why I said not to let the feelings drown you. It's better to feel them than not to feel them, but to let them overcome you and to not. I'm a little biased in this because I'm messed up, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't really talk about that a lot, but I have some issues, obviously. Look at me. But I find it's better to observe emotions with a sense of detachment, with a little bit of distance between you and the feeling. And that's really hard to get, especially for people that are more emotional than I am. Being an Aquarius, I'm very intellectual, and there's so much air in my chart that it has skewed things so heavily that I don't have the same emotional spectrum that most people do. So it allows me a little more objectivity and detachment than most people are capable of on a continual basis. So take this with a grain of salt, because this is the only way I know to deal with it. But if you can get a little distance between you and this feeling of hopelessness and really look at it for what it is, you'll see how limited that's something you can only see about your emotions from outside of them. That's why I say it's better to feel them and get that part out of the way so that you can process it afterwards. And once you're outside of the feeling, once you've been through it and you felt the weight of it and the real impressions that you're getting from that part of you, because that's a part of your soul trying to tell you something. So that's information that you can't process on a conscious level. It has to be felt. So don't get lost in the feeling is all. Everything should be temporary. Feel the feeling, let it do its thing, but don't feel like that has to be your new normal, because that's so not true. You're actually on your way up, Taurus. That was the point I was getting at with this, that the waxing moon phase, especially in the suit of Pentacles, like, you are in for something better. You're on your way to something better than whatever it is you're depressed about not having right now. And is it really? Yeah. Knight of Wands. So you don't see it right now because you're feeling overwhelmed, and I get that. I feel that a lot. But you're actually on your way to something better. Your situation is on a path towards improving, and that's going to become apparent very soon, and you're going to start to get psyched about it. The Knight of Wands, it's that same phase of the cycle that I was talking about, the rising of the energy, the come up of the waveform before it peaks at the Queen and starts to collapse at the King and starts over again at the Page. And once you get through the feeling of sadness and hopelessness and feeling lost and like everything's going to be awful forever, once you've realized how unrealistic that is, you're going to start to see that you have an opportunity and that you're actually headed in a better direction. And once you get to that point and you can see it, you are going to be so fired up. You're going to be so all about it. And that's going to start you on this next cycle of your fire energy, where that's what's coming up. That's going to start raising your fire energy. And then both of, if you follow this path, if you take my advice, not being like that about it, but if you go the route that I'm suggesting, hopefully what you will get is that both of these energies will peak roughly around the same time. You'll start to see a lot of success about this new opportunity that you're starting to get excited about, and that will feed your excitement about it, and you'll put more into it and you'll get further. That's how it went for me with doing this page. I didn't expect people to like my tarot readings. I would never have even done this if it hadn't been suggested to me that I should, because other people were doing it and weren't doing it as well as me. I almost felt like I had to at that point, because I can do this in a way that few other people can. And I feel like if this is going to be a thing people are looking for in the world, there needs to be somebody that can do it right for them to find. Otherwise, they're going to get the wrong impression of this very sacred thing, and it's going to ruin it. But that's a whole other tangent. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so talkative tonight. I spend all my time alone with two little girls, and I get to talk to them a lot about a lot of stuff, but it's little kid stuff. So now that I'm in front of a camera talking about grown-up stuff, I am so all about the chance to just talk about some serious things. So if you feel these feelings, are we still on Taurus? Wow. Okay, Taurus, if you feel these feelings and get that out of the way, then you'll be able to recognize that you're actually in a better position, and then you'll start to get excited about it. And just take my advice on that and wait for the good that's coming. I'm going to call that quits. I did not mean to talk that much on the first one. I had a little alcohol earlier, I'm not going to lie. That kind of makes me talkative. But like I said, also, I don't get to talk about grown-up stuff. I talk about Minecraft and elementary school assignments all day. Even most of the grown-ups that I talk to, that ends up what it's about. So we're going to go into Virgo, and I'm going to keep, hopefully all of this rambling is beneficial or useful to you guys. That's why I tend to let myself go on these tangents, because I don't know what is going on in your lives, and I don't know what's going to resonate for you guys. So I try to stay focused, but I also try not to be too strict about, I don't know. You guys seem to enjoy it, so I'm just going to go back to doing it and stop talking about it so much. We have the Four of Cups inverted for Virgo. So Virgo, creative energy, hopefully. That's one of the better aspects of your fire energy that you are not holding back right now. The four is that pressure valve I always talk about, where you have to let things sit and build up and wait for everything to align to the point where you have the opportunity to get to the next phase where things start to manifest. And you are pedal to the metal right now, Virgo. So hopefully it's creative energy, maybe some passion going on, stuck in the house together, something like that. Generally, this would generally be sort of a cautionary card that you're being reckless or something like that. But it's kind of hard to be reckless with your fire energy because of what it represents. So that's one of the things where I said that the inverted version of the card doesn't always mean the opposite of what the card means. It's weird how much I'm doing that tonight, saying a thing and then it comes up later. Maybe I am psychic. Probably at least not crazy. Anyway, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So that kind of makes me feel like this is an abundance of creative energy, and your thoughts right now are on your physical needs, attaining an income, acquiring food and supplies, maintaining shelter, like mundane earthly concerns. Like pentacles are the suit of earth, so that's your meat space, like the real world, dirty, imperfect, gotta work for it part of life. And that's where your focus is right now. So maybe you're putting a lot of effort into creative ways to earn an income, or you're trying to reinvent your living space and make it a better expression of yourself, so that if you're going to be there for a while, at least it's a little more comfortable. But whatever it is, like, you're all fired up about something and you're not holding anything back, and you are putting that energy towards your earthly energy, your career, your romantic relationships, passionate affairs, sexuality. I tend not to mention stuff like that generally in readings, but it does come up. It's a part of life. And I don't know, I have to be so careful doing this publicly. We have the Ten of Swords inverted for you, Virgo. So Ten of Swords, I usually read that as like an anxiety card, and to a degree, or inverted at least. It's sort of an anxiety card that you're very worried about. Probably, I would describe it as manifesting your fears, but most people don't think of things in that way. So what it is you probably have some very valid concerns or worries about your future and your stability, and you're putting all of your energy towards that right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you feel you need to do, totally be all about it. That's a widespread thing. Everybody is going to have to readjust to the new way. Things aren't going to go back. Things aren't going to be easier anytime soon. And things are hopefully not going back to what they were before. One way or another, there's no going back to the way things were. It's going to be different going forward, no matter what. It might resemble what we remember as regular life, but it's not going to be the same. It can't. We've all gone through something that has profoundly impacted and changed all of us as a global community. So things aren't going to be the same again. And it's probably better that right now, Virgo, you are putting your energy into adapting to the new world that we find ourselves in. I don't really have any advice to give, honestly. Good for you. You're handling this better than 99% of other people right now, Virgo. Put your creative energy into new ways of sustaining yourself, and new ways of living, and new ways of being. That's what's needed right now. And by doing that, document it. Post about it. Whatever it is that you're coming up with, whatever it is you're doing, it could be an inspiration for other people. And like, I never think about things that way either. I ramble and rant a lot about stuff on my personal accounts and on my pages and in my videos. But I'm often surprised how many times people will come to me later and say, I watched you go through this thing and I saw what you did in response to that, and it inspired me to do this, or to try to make this change, or it taught me that I could be doing that differently. And I don't do these things because of that. I have a neurosis in me that makes me constantly try to be better than I was before. And it's a healthy neurosis to have, to an extent. It can get away from you sometimes, but I'm a very driven person, and it sounds like you and I are somewhat alike in this area, Virgo. So no notes. You nailed it. You totally get what's going on and what needs to be done right now. My only advice would be to share what you're doing and share your journey with other people, because it's so important, especially now, to show everyone that something else is possible. The more people that see others adapting to this and learning to thrive and learning to do better, the more other people are going to want to do that. They're going to try to find their own version of that. So it will have a chain reaction effect. And please, whatever you do, don't stop. So share it with the rest of the world, whatever it is you're going through, Virgo, because it sounds like you're handling this better than most. And I've been stressing mutual aid and trying to reach out to others and trying to inspire and trying to assist. And I'm going to start, that's why I'm giving this advice, because these are ways that you can do that. And it's so important to you never know what you put out into the world that's going to help somebody. So it's important to put it all out there. And that's what I do. So we're going to do Capricorn, and that's probably why I've been rambling. And my ex was a Capricorn, so I always kind of think of her when we do these readings. And sometimes it's sad, especially in the last few weeks. If you think about the Capricorn readings that I've done since I started this channel, you guys don't know how hard some of those were to get through. But I'm in a better place now, and I feel like I'm really connected tonight and getting some good messages. So I hope this helps the Capricorns out there. You have the Empress inverted. So feeling a detachment from our feminine energy right now, or maybe not feeling in control of the feminine aspect of ourselves. The Emperor and Empress represent like mastery and control, being in charge, giving orders and seeing them carried out, that sort of thing. It's like your position of authority in your own sphere of energy. So the Empress inverted shows that you are not feeling in control of your feminine energies right now, Capricorn. Could be emotional instability, overwhelming feelings that are hard to process. It could be intuition nagging you about something that you just don't want to be bothered with. But whatever is going on, you feel like there's something in the sphere of your feminine energy that you are not the master of right now and not in control of. You have the Page of Wands inverted. So some new cycle of inspiration or romance or passion or spirituality or whatever new fire energy cycle that you thought you were starting hasn't kicked off. And maybe that's why you're feeling a little out of control of your energies, that you feel like you should be onto something new, or you should be responding to something more than you are. And that notification is telling me not to ramble so much. These videos are so long tonight. You have the World inverted, Capricorn. So you're going to have to take some time for yourself. It sounds like you've got a lot of things to figure out right now. That whatever is going on in your feminine aspect that is preventing this new cycle of ambition or passion or spirituality or creativity or whatever is supposed to be fueling you through this next stage of your journey, it's not there. And you need to create some distance. You need to separate and gather yourself and be in a place where you can really analyze just you, not a partner or a new relationship or whatever. You really need some time for you to figure out why this isn't working for you the way you expected. And I wish you the best of luck with that, guys. If any of you want to reach out for personal readings, there are links. I'm just do my regular spiel. If you enjoyed the video and you would like to help me out and want to toss a coin to your seer, there are plenty of links down in the description where you can find out how to do that, or how to reach out to me for personal readings to get more information on anything that you guys have going on. You can check that out while you're hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit the little bell to turn on the notifications. My daughter informed me of this, that if you don't hit the little bell next to the subscription button, you won't get notifications when I post new videos. So if you want to know whenever I put these up, that's how you do it. And I wish you guys the best of luck with everything that you've got going on. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope I'll see you next time.